Welcome to Get Your Mind Right. Today, we're diving into your questions and insights in our mailbag segment. Thanks to everyone who wrote in. Let's open up the mailbag.
Welcome to Get Your Mind Right, the world's only podcast dedicated to merchant services and digital marketing professionals. Well, folks, as you know, it's Friday, so that means only one thing: time for the mailbag. And this week, we're tackling a topic that's central to every sales professional's success, and that is perfecting your pitch. Because your pitch is the gateway to closing deals. But hey, let's be honest, not all pitches are created equal. Some leave prospects nodding their heads, ready to sign, while others fall completely flat. So today we're answering a couple of essential questions. The first question I got is, what makes a pitch easy to say yes to? And the second question I received was, how can you prepare for the very most difficult objections to overcome? So let's jump in. Now, I got called on this. You guys that dial in regularly, you know that I say that pitches, it is absolutely essential that you make it easy for your client to say yes to. And if you're really good at it, you do it right, you make it impossible for them to say no to. So I got called on this. How do you do this? Well, the first thing is to understand the best sales pitches really don't feel like sales pitches. They feel more like conversations. When a pitch is truly easy to say yes to, it's because that prospect sees immediate value and feels like you understand their needs. So, how do I go about creating that kind of pitch? Well, I want to start with the prospect, not the product. Now, too many sales reps, or sales gerbils as I like to call them, jump straight into their product's features and benefits without even considering what the prospect might actually want. You know, that's the only trick of the gerbil, to jump on that wheel and start running. Now, the key for you as a top professional is to flip the script. Start by addressing their pain points or goals. You might say, Mr. Client, I understand that finding ways to reduce payment processing fees is a priority for your business. Let me show you how we can help. By focusing on the prospect's needs first, you're positioning yourself as the top professional that is a problem solver. Be that guy, not the sales gerbil. The next thing is to keep it simple and clear. If your pitch is overloaded with jargon or unnecessary complexity, you're making it hard for the prospect to follow. Simplicity wins. Highlight the most important benefit. Show how it directly impacts their business, and back it up with data or a quick example. You should also tailor the pitch specifically and directly for your prospect. This one size all pitch is a surefire way to lose interest. Use what you know about the prospect to tailor your approach. Show the client that you understand the challenges that are specific and usual to their industry, and show them how your solution has helped similar businesses. Customization of pitches demonstrates you've done your homework. This is what a top professional does. This is what leads to building trust. I recommend that you tell a story. Humans are wired to respond to stories. Share a brief example of a client who faced a similar challenge and how your solution helped them succeed. You might say, one of our clients was spending 20% more on processing fees than they needed to. After they implemented our solution, they saved 10 grand in just 6 months. Always end with a call to action. Never leave a pitch open-ended. Guide the prospect toward the next step. You might say, Mr. Client, would you like to see how this could work for your business? Or can we schedule a deeper dive next week to explore implementation? So, second question I was asked is how you can prepare for the hardest objections. Now, a lot of people get shook up about the objections, but they really shouldn't. Someone's asking you or offering you objections, these are signs that they're interested. This is an organic part of the sales process. Now, Some folks try to avoid them. That's a big mistake. What your plan should be is to prepare for them because when you're ready for objections, you're showing the prospect that you understand their concerns and you also have solutions at the ready. It also shows that you have been there and you've done that, something that clients are looking for in a top professional. So here's how we can handle these objections like a pro. The first is to anticipate objections before they arise. You guys have been at this even just for a little bit of time. You know that you hear the same sorts of objections over and over. They're just phrased in different ways. So I advise you to make a list of the common objections you hear and prepare clear and concise responses. For example, merchant might say, it's too expensive. What you might say is, I completely understand cost is a concern. Let me show you how this solution is going to save you money over time and deliver you a really strong return on investment. Merchant might say, John, we're happy with our current provider. And I'm going to say, I hear that all the time. Many of our clients have felt the same way before switching to us. Let me show you how they made the change and why they did it. Now, the next thing is really, really important. And this is a key piece of being a top professional. And that is listening without arguing. Because when that prospect raises an objection, resist the urge to jump in with a rebuttal. Pull the reins back. Pull yourself back from this. Listen carefully and validate their concern. You might say, Mr. Klein, I hear you. That's a completely valid point. Let's explore this a little bit further. And what this approach does, it diffuses tension and opens the door for constructive conversation. It shows the client that you are listening to them. You can back this up by asking clarifying questions because sometimes you might think it's an objection, but it's really not. Could be just a misunderstanding or incomplete information. Ask questions to dive deeper. You might say, Mr. Client, can you tell me more about what you mean by that? Or, what's your biggest concern right now with moving forward? You can take the opportunity to turn these objections into something that's going to move the ball further down the field. Every objection is an opportunity for you to add more value. For example, your merchant might say, we're just really busy. We don't have the time to implement a new solution right now. And what I'm going to say to that is, I completely get it. I understand. This is why we handle all of the heavy lifting for you. Our implementation team ensures minimal disruption so you can focus on running your business. And last, one of my favorites, practice, practice, practice. The more you practice handling objections, the more confident and natural you'll feel in real conversations. Role play key scenarios with a colleague or mentor, focusing on the toughest objections you face. Homework for the week. Homework is my bag, baby. So here's your assignment. I've got a big 3 for you. 1's not enough, 2's not enough. Gotta have 3 this week. And the first one is to refine your pitch. Take a really close look at your current pitch. Take a hard and critical look at it. Is it simple? Is it tailored? Is it focused on your prospect's needs? If not, chuck it in the trash can. Rewrite it, and practice delivering it until it feels natural. Next thing is prepare for those objections that are inevitably going to come up. Write down the top 3 objections you hear most often. And for each one, craft a response that's empathetic, concise, and solution focused. Practice delivering these responses until they become second nature to you. The last thing is to role play your pitch. Grab a colleague and role play it, complete with objections. The goal is to simulate a real world scenario and refine your approach. Now, my final thoughts on today. Perfecting your pitch isn't a one-time effort. It's an ongoing process. Every conversation is an opportunity to learn, refine, and improve. By crafting a pitch that's easy to say yes to and difficult to say no to, mastering the art of handling objections, you're setting yourself up for success in every sales meeting. Be the top professional. Leave being the gerbil for the other guy. As always, I want to hear from you. What's the toughest objection you're facing right now? How are you handling it? Send stories my way, and maybe we'll feature them in a future episode. Until next time, keep practicing, stay confident, and remember, a great pitch is the foundation of a great close. I'll see you back here bright and early on Monday.